Hi, I'm Nathan Mull. I'm a real estate expert. Today we are continuing with our three-part series of what's available for the public when it comes to their distress situations. You have a property in distress, you got to go from point A to point B. Option one was considering lawyers. Option two, this video, is going to be considering a realtor. So here we are. I'm a real estate broker. I own a realty, and I have inside information on this. That's going to be kind of like a massive blowing of the whistle. But I hate to break the news to you, but 99% of the realtors out there have never negotiated a short sale, and they're not qualified to do it. They don't know how to do it. In fact, their brokers don't even want them to do the work because it takes too much time and it's too intensive, it's too difficult. They don't know how to do it. So you're wondering, wait a minute, and then why are they standing there trying to get your listing? Well, because they can list your property, they're going to field a bunch of calls from other buyers, sell them other properties that are not in foreclosure, schedule closing, and get paid. So while you're in foreclosure heading to an auction, they've closed 3 other properties, made lots of money off of you. You just didn't realize that was going on. There it is. So when you have a realtor standing there saying, we this and we this, and we're great at this and we're great at that, time out, time out, time out. Who's we? You got that one person standing there. Who's we? All right? Who's the mystery person? Because otherwise, what you're doing is you're buying a car that has no engine. It's not going anywhere, right? Who's the person that's going to do the hard part, which is dealing with the bank? That is by far the most difficult part. Well, I would say short sales are the most difficult niche in residential real estate completely, right? It is by far the most difficult thing because you have a bunch of different servicing companies, and then behind them you have a bunch of different note investors, each of them with their guidelines, and it's a mess. Sometimes the servicing companies don't even want to tell the note investor that there's a short sale. So it's a massive battle going on here. And unless you have serious experience doing this, you don't even realize the challenge. So again, are you really going to buy a car with no engine? Yeah, that's what you get. So how about the broker, you say? Isn't the broker supposed to help out in the situation? Well, yeah, technically. By Florida law, all these agents have their licenses hanging with that broker. That broker is technically responsible for all these transactions. Unfortunately, over time, what's happened because of competition, all these branches are now paying out a high percentage of the commission, and what little comes into the branch covers overhead. Overhead, staff, marketing, um, handles the materials they need, the systems they got to pay for, like all the overhead. So that means the broker isn't getting paid a dime from your transaction. So they can talk all they want that the broker's spectacular, this and that, and blah, blah, blah. But that agent right there isn't telling you that the broker isn't getting paid a penny. Not just that, that agent doesn't even want to pay that broker a penny because that would come out of their cut. They're greedy. They don't want to split it with the broker that actually knows what they're doing. Take it back. Not that the broker even knows what they're doing. Some of them still don't know what they're doing when it comes to short sales, but they have a lot more experience than the agent that's talking to you, but you don't get them. Sorry. Massive blowing the whistle right now, okay? It is what it is. So let me tell you the gravity of this. All right, I'm going to bring in an ethics screen because every realtor in the country, in fact, is supposed to follow the same standard code of ethics. So here we are. This right here, I'll show you the top part. This is the Code of Ethics Standards of Practice for the National Association of Realtors. Everybody in Florida is a member of this because they're all part of the same national group. Article 11, as you can see here, realtors shall not undertake to provide specialized professional services concerning a type of property or service that is outside of their field of competence, unless they engage the assistance of one who is competent. Wow, wait a minute. Doesn't that mean that a clueless realtor is obligated to bring in another realtor that actually have specialized knowledge to handle your short situation? Absolutely. There it is, black and white. Code of ethics. They are violating their own code of ethics. And I hate to tell you, I think like almost every realtor out there violates this code of ethics because they never bring another person that specializes in this. Long time ago, yeah, that used to happen. Not anymore. They're they're just not doing it. So what value are they bringing the homeowner if they don't know what they're doing and they're not bringing the help that they're supposed to bring because of greed? They're greedy about something, greedy about keeping their commission. They don't want to split it. So what good is that for the homeowner? Not very good. Not very good. So I'm going to show you an email here. How about this? This is you'll like this. This is an email, typical battle. I get into these battles of with different people that pretend to know what they're talking about, but they just don't. They just don't. Right? Here we go. Okay. All right. So let me go to the top here so you understand the gravity of this. So I had a realtor contact me on a property. I was working on a short sale on that, taking care of my customer, seller, homeowner, you guys. And so everything they sent me was wrong. Oh my God, I gotta tell you, it's crazy when they start blasting emails to everyone in the group because they like to be the center of attention. But every email, unfortunately, was wrong because realtors really don't understand short sales unless they specialize in it. So everything she did was wrong. And so here she is blasting it out. She wants to see all the documents being sent to the bank. No, because I have to send in bank statements, tax returns, pay stubs, financial statements, all sorts of private information for that homeowner. I'm not giving that to the other realtors. None of their business. They were asking for stuff from the get-go they should have known they shouldn't have been asking for. There's really nothing they get from my side of things. No, nothing. And they want to contact the negotiator. No, none of their business either. The negotiator can't even talk to them. But they were clueless. And again, pretending like they knew what they were talking about. Unbelievable. Then we got to the point where they wanted to do an inspection. They did the inspection. And as you can see here, I reviewed the inspection, right? I just saw it. Hey, I'm done. I've done hundreds of remodels. And so I've hired a lot of different type of contractors. I know what I'm looking at. And it was ridiculous. It was super, super minor little things. And in return, they wanted a credit of $12,500 for a bunch of stuff. And my answer was ridiculous. Not only is it ridiculous and not warranted, the bank on a short sale doesn't care. Even if I send that inspection report, they're going to laugh. They got people, maybe 20 years ago, they would have fallen for it, but the banks don't fall for it anymore because they have people on staff that are used to looking at these inspection reports. They would have just laughed at the whole thing. Even if it was something serious, they might have laughed at it because they really don't budge. They set a value and they're pretty much solid about their value, right? They really don't budge. And that realtor didn't understand that. And so I was clarifying my job is to protect my client, right, the homeowner, because I look out for homeowners. It's my job, one way or another, whether I'm buying it or helping a third party buy. I get you to the finish line, so I'm looking out for the homeowner. They want credit for screws and light bulbs and a missing smoke detector. Absurd, just absurd stuff, just ticky tack stuff, and they're going crazy on it. And it's just, I was getting super aggravated with this person. I can't tell you who they work for, but everybody knows the name of the realty. Everyone knows it. Okay, so later on, they were telling their buyer, blasting it out in email, okay, we're going to go ahead and order the appraisal. And I told them, no, don't do that. We don't have an approval. Why would you order the appraisal if we don't have an approval? It could be months before we get the approval and your appraisal expires. Now he's going to have to pay for another appraisal. Jumping the gun. Again, no idea. And of course, I had to reply saying, don't do that. So constantly just fixing, and all her emails, it was just, I'm sure, super embarrassing on her. There she is trying to pitch herself as an expert of whatever, and she didn't have the slightest idea. It's just, wow. I was just constantly correcting her. And then the bad part is where she was trying to continue to fight with me because she's trying to protect her image. It was her fault that she was bragging about herself and trying to make herself look like an expert and just sharing all these emails. Well, it just all blew up on her. And at a certain point where I just couldn't deal with her anymore. And I said, I am officially done with you. I will only deal with your broker. See that? See that? I mean, look at the stuff I got to deal with, right? Because I'm taking care of my client. I'm an expert at my field. I'm dealing with someone on the other side of the fence that is clueless, and they're trying to sell themselves as something that they're not. It really got in the way. Really got in the way. So later, the broker contacted me, and this is where it comes in, where the broker doesn't get paid anything. So she didn't want to even deal with it. Imagine that there's this deal there. I am refusing to deal with the agent. I'm saying, forget it. I'm only going to deal with your superior, which is the broker, and that broker's not getting paid. She wasn't really motivated to get involved at all. And you know what they did? They on their side brought in a transaction coordinator. I hate transaction coordinators. Okay? Hate transaction coordinators. And so here we are. They're trying to inform me that the agent, because the agent hired the transaction coordinator, because the option is cut in the broker with part of the commission. The agent didn't want to do that. She was greedy, right? So they're bringing in this transaction coordinator, this mystery person, to take over. And literally, here they are informing me, we're going to take over the transaction, blah, 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 blah. And my answer is hell no. Hell no. I never agreed to this. This third party has nothing to do with this transaction. So what happens if the whole thing blows up? What are we doing listening to some third party that has nothing to do with this transaction? We're basically forfeiting our rights on our side of the table, the homeowner side of the table. I'm not doing that. I'm protecting my client. I'm protecting my client. So at this point, the broker doesn't understand why I'm so disappointed with all this. And here's the email where I'm explaining it. And I point out, with all the work that transaction coordinator is doing, preparing documents, reviewing, and all of that, creating the missing addendums and all of that, it's all realty work. They're supposed to be licensed. They were not licensed. That is a third-degree felony in Florida. Bam! Bam. They were doing this forever. This outside person, unlicensed, doing realty work, yeah, they're committing felony on every transaction. So this whole transaction coordinator thing is a pet peeve of mine, because right there, the moment some realtor tells you they're bringing in a transaction order, they're literally telling you, one, they have no idea what's in that contract and how it works and what addendums are needed. Okay, they don't know how to follow the deadlines for the buyer or the seller. And two, they're too lazy to stay on top of that once you are obligated in that contract. They want to spend their time prospecting for the next sucker to get into a contract with them, because this is how they get their money. They think as soon as they get you into a contract, that means commission. Now they want to spend their time finding the next person to put into the contract so they get another commission. They don't want to waste their time following your responsibility. You're on the hook. It's your problem now. Go deal with this outside person, the transaction coordinator. I hate transaction coordinators. It's offensive. To me, it's offensive, because that's not supposed to be happening. The broker is supposed to be on top of that transaction. And the state of Florida agrees with me. We're on the same page. That's not right. That's not right. I would never bring in some transaction coordinator to deal with my client. Hell no. No way. I take a lot of pride. I protect my client. So there it is. You have a massive bait and switch with realtors. They sell you a story, and before you know it, they're not even doing the work you thought they were going to do. And the brokers don't want to do the work because they're not getting paid. Well, I just blew the whistle on the entire industry. Well, I hope no realtors watching this. But my commitment is to you guys. This is what I do. I take pride in it. I help homeowners get to the finish line, take them from point A to point B. That's what I do. I'm very passionate about it. I have a tremendous amount of expertise with it. So if you're in this type of situation, just call me. I'll review your situation. I'll do a free analysis, and I'll tell you what I see. At least you know where you stand and whether or not it can help you. Might give you some other options of other things you might do instead. But either way, at least you have high-level input on your own situation. Okay? So look forward to talking to you soon. All right?